It's Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. Thank you so much for joining us again. Our guest is Lee Baca. Mr. Baca is the sheriff for Los Angeles County. Sir, we thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. You recently were in Washington, D.C. You testified before a committee headed by Chairman Peter King of New York, and it was about extremism, and there was a lot of discussion about the Muslim community. Some are a little concerned about that. While we're concerned about homegrown terrorism, there's this notion that should we really be targeting one specific group? Talk to me about that.
Well, I think we should talk about violent extremism in all forms, and let me explain the data in America in the past 10 years. In the past 10 years, there have been 77 homegrown extremist violent terror plots by people who were not Muslims. And in the same period of time, there were 41 plots that were generated outside of America and inside America by Al-Qaeda types, threatening the security of America, and therefore the number of plots that are outside and inside over Muslim-related terrorists and those that are not are exceeded by those that are not Muslim.
But if you listen to the media, and I'm part of the media, I mean, you wouldn't believe that. I mean, it seems as if all discussions are focused on one community, that's the Islamic community. And that can be troubling because they are Americans.
Yes, indeed, and it can be very troubling, especially if there's an implication that Muslims are not helping police authorities, which was one of the issues of the hearings. So I was able to, and others, describe that 7 out of the last 10 terror plots that involve Muslim perpetrators were also divulged by Muslim informants.
There you have it.
So what we have is a high level of cooperation. I developed a Muslim American Homeland Security Congress here in Los Angeles, and I have a Muslim community outreach unit of Muslim speaking and Muslim deputy sheriffs. And we have a great rapport. We get a lot of help from the Muslims here in Los Angeles in our counterterrorism effort. The LAPD does it, the FBI has an outreach, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Attorney General's Office of the United States. We're all in this together. We're working hard.
Good to hear. Let's shift gears and talk about California. As you know, Governor Brown had proposed realigning power from Sacramento to the counties, and one specific area was transferring prisoners from state prison to local jails as a way to help the budget gap in Sacramento. He has backed off tremendously on that proposal. How do you feel about that, sir?
Well, I think the realignment in and of itself is a positive idea that can work, but the money has to accompany the realignment. So as long as the state does a constitutional amendment that gives the counties the ability to manage this money and guarantees it and doesn't just cap it, then we can make it work. Parole is another part of this, by the way.
Yes. Now, I understand on the parole side, he also stripped the plan, which would have given less time to parole officers to manage the number of parolees they have. So I would presume that that is a benefit to your department.
Well, here's the point on that. On the realignment of parole, it is my belief that the criminal justice system starts with police and it should end with police. So what I've done is I've met with Charlie Beck and I've met with a number of police officials.
Chief of Police of Los Angeles.
Correct. The police chiefs of Los Angeles County police departments, 42 of them. And I believe that we can put together a comprehensive police model for parole that would have GPS tracking, that would have mapping in our radio cars, and all of the data conditions of parole within that data.
Do we have the funds for that? It seems as if it could be cost effective, but is the money there?
That's the other issue. We want the money to accompany what the cost would actually be. And right now, in looking at the dollars, it appears as though that's the case.
Okay, his name is Lee Baca. He is sheriff for the County of Los Angeles. My name is Brad Pomerance. We thank you so much for joining us on Local Edition. Now we're going to send you back to HLN.